What's up, y'all? DMP episode 18. Today is May, funny enough, 18th, 2021. And Matt, are you having fun? Yes or no?
I'm having a good time. I'm a little annoyed as we spoke before we press record. YouTube TV was kind of fucking us over during the Boston game, cutting out. Had the blood pressure going a little crazy, but I'm good. How you doing?
Experiencing the same shit. I'm sure all of us YouTube TVers were getting that little spinning wheel. I was ready to yank my router out the wall. So
Yeah, same dude.
shit better not happen to tomorrow.
Yeah, I got a big day tomorrow. Can't miss a second. That's for sure. But it's the golden episode, 18th episode on the 18th of May. Got to celebrate.
Celebrate with something. The playing games tonight started off with the Pacers blowing out the Hornets, which I think was a surprise to all. And then the Celtics kind of kept their distance with the Wizards. Kind of a dud to start the super anticipated playing tournament, but that's just the Eastern Conference being the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like you mentioned, I was pretty bummed about the Charlotte game. I always love watching them play. They were like my league pass team this year. I was always tuning in to see Miles Bridges dunk somebody through the rim or LaMelo do something cool or Terry hit a buzzer beater, but came up super short today. Just a complete beatdown from like the second quarter on. It seemed like Indy had a 20-point lead the whole time. So it wasn't a very fun game to watch. And then, yeah, Tatum went off for a 50 burger tonight. So Boston secured their spot to play against the
The
two seed.
Nets.
Yep, which will be
Nets.
Brooklyn. So Kyrie, revenge series against the Celtics. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I saw Robert Williams got hurt. Looked like he hurt his ankle or something like that on a rebound. So I don't know if he'll be available. It'll be kind of a big loss for them if not. Um, don't know if they really stand a chance in the 7-game series against the Nets, even with him, but it'll be a lot tougher without him too.
Yeah, I it's gonna have to be Tatum putting up 40 to 50 a night, especially against the Nets. And he's probably gonna run out of gas. I was listening to Bill Simmons earlier preview the Eastern Conference, and his negative outlook on the Celtics had me cracking up. And I just can't wait to hear him just bitch and moan every week once the Celtics get ran out of the gym by the Nets.
He's one of the whiniest Boston fans. It's ridiculous. It was bad when Kyrie made his exodus from Boston. He took it
He's
real
still sore
tough.
about that.
He's very salty still. He held a big time grudge against Kyrie. And I kind of stopped listening to Billy Boy, but I'm assuming he's hating everything about Kyrie this year.
Yeah, my I'm running out of my engagement with them. Him
Yeah,
and
it's
Russillo
tough.
talking is just it's too much. But that kind of brings us into like the biggest thing for today. We had a fun weekend last weekend with the Hall of Fame and Steph kind of going off and the Dubs securing that playing seat. They got the Lakers tomorrow to play for that 7 seed. If they lose, they gotta play the winner of the Spurs and the Grizzlies for the 8 seed. So let's just kind of jump into the playoff preview. I want to talk about picks, things to look for. I don't think we need to run down every single matchup, but we'll just start with picks. Who do you got coming out of the East and West?
So for the Western Conference, this one was tough. Obviously, the homer bias in me has a tough time not picking the Dubs, even though I'm a realist. So no matter how I look at it, I keep looking at the bracket. No matter if they fall at the top or the bottom, in the 8th or the 7th seed, with a fully healthy squad, I still have a tough time not seeing the Lakers coming out of the West. Um, Everyone's kind of mentioned it. LeBron is completely setting up the narrative right now for like a major comeback. I don't know if I'll ever be the same. Steph has been the MVP this year. Coincidentally, he's going against Steph in the play-in. So if they beat us and if they keep advancing, he's just setting up another quote unquote washed king narrative that he's overachieving and all this bullshit. So I don't want to see it, but I have a tough time not seeing the Lakers come out of the West. So I got the Lakers, probably depending on where they fall with this playing game. I'm imagining both LA teams are going to be in the Western Conference Finals if it shakes out that way. So probably say Lakers Clippers still in the Western Conference Finals. And then the Eastern Conference Finals, I've got Philly Milwaukee. and
Nice.
I'm hoping Philly pulls that one out. If Steph can't make it to the finals this year, I'd love to see another Curry representative, and would love to see a nice storybook ending of Joel winning his first ring and getting a Finals MVP. I'd be all here for that.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I'm big on Philly. I think they got an easy path to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like all the good teams are going to be beating up on each other in that 2-3 semi matchup. So
Yeah,
to start with, most likely is going to be I'm still thinking the Wiz Dogs are going to make it into the 8th seed to start the playoffs with the Wizards, and then go between New York and Atlanta, and then
cupcakes.
Yeah, I'm assuming if the Bucks and Nets meet up, it's going to be a 7-game series. Like that's going to be a dogfight. It's looking like they have the ability to kind of probably coast their way to the Eastern Conference Finals. And with a guy like Embiid, who historically gets tired after game 3 or 4 down the stretch, he's going to use that rest. And yeah, I mean, I'm not like the biggest Doc Rivers fans, but I think it'll be cool to sort of see him get a little bit of redemption. I'm pulling for my boy Seth as well. So I got Philly out of the East too.
Nice.
My sleeper is the Knicks. I'm sure you feel the same way. I am front row for the Knicks playoff run this year. And yeah, like I said earlier, I think the Eastern Conference is going to be a fun ass playoff series to watch. As far as the West, I'm Lakers too. Until LeBron proves me wrong, it's so hard to say he's going to get out, like bounced in a certain round. I think the Suns are a year early. I think they are going to show some of their inexperience, especially like with Ayton going up against the likes of potentially Jokic, even Rudy Gobert, AD. Like he's got some tough matchups, and he's going to be the X factor. So I think they get out of. I think they make to the semis, and then Clippers are going to be the Clippers. I don't have a ton of faith in those guys until they prove me wrong. And then I'm not even going to talk about the Jazz. They're a bunch of frauds. But yeah, it's going to be interesting.
The Jazz are frauds. I probably would have said Denver before Jamal Murray went down, but that starting backcourt of Austin Rivers and Campazzo does not have me very convinced that they're going to go deep this year. So I'm kind of writing off. Yeah, I'm kind of writing off Denver at the moment too. I think Jokic can only do so much, but we'll see how that one shakes out. And then Dallas, I don't take them seriously. Portland, as much as I love to watch them play, they're probably one of the more exciting teams. I just don't think they have enough firepower. So yeah, it's really going to come down to, in my eyes, the LA teams on the West. And as you mentioned in the East, man, the teams kind of in the middle of the pack could be dangerous. Like you never know what happens with Miami in the playoffs. Like Jimmy Butler hates to lose. Bam could hit his stride. Hopefully Tyler Hero kind of catches fire again like he did last year. So they're in the 6th seed, so they could make some noise. I think Atlanta's a bunch of frauds, even though they've been playing well with their new guy. I still don't see them getting past anybody in the playoffs. So we'll see.
Yeah. The Hawks are interesting because it's like they're playing against a team full of old dudes in the Knicks, Thibodeau as a coach, and just a bunch of dogs. Like they have so much going against them. Yeah. I just imagine, and I forget what the exact stat line is, but Julius Randle, his stats against the Hawks this year have been like 35 a game over 3 games. And so he just has such a matchup advantage on them. It's just like, you make Trae Young get a little sassy, he's going to be bitch to the refs all night. And I don't think he's going to get those calls in the playoffs. And unless he does, I can't imagine they make it past like 5 games with them.
Yeah, no chance. I don't see it. And you mentioned it, dude. The Knicks are going to be fun to watch because Tibbs is going to be
Shiggy's going to be dancing and shit. Like,
yeah, another level. Yeah, Shiggy's in the crowd. Spike's going to be on his shit. Jules just plays so fucking hard. They're going to be a fun team to watch, and I think that we could see them maybe go a round or 2 past what they should. And like we've been saying this whole time we've had this show, the league is more fun when the Knicks are good. So I'm pulling for it. Love watching this team. Used to not be the biggest Julius Randle fan, but he's really, really grown on me. We'll probably touch on that more a little bit later. But yeah, I'll have my Knicks shorts and jacket on when they play. That's for sure.
That's so sick. I saw a few things that unexpectedly, but Julius Randle led the league in minutes per game. And I was
Not
trying to look
surprised.
up, how many of Tibbs players have led the league in minutes over the years. It's just like another classic example of Tibbs running his guys into the ground. Yeah, I think out of the whole playoffs, outside of the Warriors, like I am zoned in on the Knicks and the Hawks.
Yep.
As someone who liked Trae Young last year, he's on my list of despised players. And I swear to God, if he does some sort of Spike Lee moment, trying to like recreate like a Reggie Miller like choke thing or something, if he does anything that tries to resemble Reggie Miller and Spike Lee, I'm gonna lose my shit because he's the perfect guy to do something like that, where he thinks he's like hella cool and he's just
Oh yeah.
he's just
He's the epitome
head.
of he thinks he's way sicker than he is, and he's like 120 pounds soaking wet. Yeah, I don't fuck
Yeah.
with Trae Young, dude. I'll be the first one to say it. Especially in the playoffs, I feel like he's going to be even more of that persona, like juiced up.
Yeah.
So you could have it. I hope he pulls up from the logo like every other time down the court, clanks them. I mean, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Julius Randle had averaged 37 minutes a game this year and played in all but one game. He played 71 games this year. So Tibbs doing Tibbs things is playing the shit out of his star.
I mean, if they like him, it works. They don't have a problem with it. It's just once like year two, maybe year 2.5 comes around and they're getting a little frustrated, Tibbs is still running you in the ground. That's when
yeah. Still screaming in your face.
That's when Tibbs starts packing his bags.
Yeah, on to greener pastures for sure.
One last thing on the playoffs. What do you think of the Clippers pretty much tanking to avoid the Lakers? They purposely lost over the weekend to get that 4 seed, which makes their path to the conference finals to avoid the Lakers and in this case the Nuggets, I guess. Like that's why I don't feel good about the Clippers. If you're this puff chest big bad team and you're purposely trying to avoid certain teams in your conference, that's just bush league to me. I don't know if you saw them doing that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, yeah, it's chess not checkers, so I totally get it. I would much rather put off the Lakers as far as I can. And I guess they just kind of saw it as another night of rest for their main guys, but it always seems like something like that will come around and bite you in the ass when you're least expecting it. So who knows? Maybe they'll get upset in the first round. Maybe they might not make it past the second, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I would probably advise my team to do that. I would prefer them to if they were in that position, but you run the risk of really fucking yourself with some basketball karma.
Right. So, what? How far do your Utah Jazz go?
My Utah Jazz, yikes. I mean, if the Warriors get the 8 seed, I could very much see a nice 2007 playoff kind of. Obviously, it wasn't against the Jazz; it was against Dallas. But 8 seed Warriors taking out the 1st seed Dallas Mavericks. I could see that happening again.
I was hoping you say that. I think a lot of people are like lightweight praying for that. I obviously want the Warriors to win tomorrow, but if they get in the playoffs at that 8 seed and they got the Jazz, I'm feeling pretty good. I think just they match up well. Rudy Gobert's going to get played off the floor like he usually does, and the Jazz flutes. Like no one likes them. They just have nothing going for them.
Agreed. And I mean, I would say I like the Warriors' chances if they land in the 8th or the 7th seed. Like I love how we match up against the Suns too. And I would probably say I'd almost rather see the Suns in 7 games than the Jazz, just because the Jazz are such a like machine, the way they work and how deep they are. But yeah, I mean, I don't see the Jazz making it past. Hopefully they don't make it past the first round, but if somehow they beat the Warriors in 7 games or the Lakers, depending on who gets the 8, I don't see them making it past the clip show in the second round.
Yeah, I totally agree. And actually, it's a good segue with the Dubs. So exciting weekend. They had a tough game against the Grizzlies last Sunday and secured a 7-8 play-in seed with the Lakers. Steph secured the scoring title with finishing the year on 32 points a game.
Yes, sir.
Let's just start with that game. What are you taking away from that going into the playoff or the play-in with the Lakers tomorrow, if anything?
I mean, the guys are just red hot right now. Like this team is red hot. We've kind of settled into a rotation, like a nice 8-man rotation that they're comfortable with. Seems like Kerr is really finding his stride along with his guys. I love it. I love the momentum we have. What are we at now? I think we have won like 8 of our last 9 games, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
The only loss we had was to New Orleans by 5.
Yep.
So I love where we're sitting. Steph has unreal confidence. Love what I saw in that game. Poole had a good game off the bench. JTA has been playing great. Draymond's been less aggro, I guess you could say. Hasn't really been getting teed up the last few games, which I love. And Looney looks like he's in shape. So I'm not mad at it. The only thing that makes me nervous is playoff Bazemore. And
yeah,
I love Bazemore, but I'm still so shaky when he gets the ball on the break. I'm just waiting for him to dribble it off his shoe or fucking double clutch and throw it out of bounds or throw a full court skip pass and just completely miss his target. I don't know. I like him and I like the certain things that he brings, but I don't like when Kent Bazemore tries to do too much. It scares me.
He plays way too many minutes. I'm in the same boat. It's getting to a point where him and Jordan Poole are starting to like split about 25 to 30 minutes a game, depending on who's hot. And
yeah,
Bazemore in the starting lineup is good for rotations, but holy shit, man.
like I do like it. That's what I'm saying. He does a lot that I like.
But he brings stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but he also doesn't produce like you'd want a starting guard to do. So it's just kind of you're stuck with it. Like I said, I hope Poole takes this momentum and takes more minutes from Bazemore because I love him and Steph next to each other.
Me too.
It's fun to watch. Poole's defense is holding up down the stretch. He looked really good last Sunday. Hit them some clutch shots. His confidence is just beaming, and
it's sky high.
You mentioned Draymond and his aggression. He's like doing just enough where he's yelling at refs, intimidating them, but not getting texts.
Yeah,
but he's also scoring the ball more.
Fuck your mother in their face.
Yeah, but he's also scoring a lot more. I think he's like, I don't know what his last couple of games are, but he had 14 on Sunday. He's doing his 11. Like fake handoff to the hoop. He's getting stuff done offensively, and we need him to average close to 15 points a game, I'd say, in a 7-game series.
That would be some nice vintage 2016 Draymond. But I mean, the last 4 games, like you said, he had 14 against Memphis on Sunday. He had 11 against Phoenix, 12 against Utah, and 15 against OKC. So he is kind of rolling right now, and this is the right time where he needs to get confidence in that jumper and just kind of going to the rim and taking what's given to him rather than constantly trying to like pass out of everything.
Yeah, he's like not even really shooting. He took 2 threes on Sunday, so he's just getting to the hoop. He's taking advantage of people overplaying on Steph and doing a little your move from back in the day, the fake handoff and go. Sometimes he's banging on people, sometimes he's getting a nice little touch. But no, we need that Wiggins to just being Wiggins. Like, I don't think Wiggins will ever not score 17 to 21 points a game. Regardless of how many shots he takes or doesn't take, you get to lock him in for that. And defensively, we're going to ask so much from him. Yeah, I agree. I'm feeling good. JTA is playing like he deserves every penny of that contract. The big takeaway that I got was, and especially looking at the Lakers, is Valanciunas destroyed us on Sunday.
We didn't have a great answer for him.
Yeah, I guess let's see. We had a nasty. I didn't track it during the game. I was like, he's got to have like 20 and 15. So he finished with 29 points a game, 16 rebounds, and my hope is that that's like Drummond trying to do that and not AD. Because if we got Drummond on the floor, we can take advantage of him on the offensive end. But if you're going to replace Jonas with AD, which they will likely do, I'm a little worried. But I will say no one's as strong as Jonas. That motherfucker is a absolute monster. But the boards kind of worry me. I think the boards worry me the most. which is pretty obvious with the Lakers, but that's the one thing.
Yeah, they're long.
Like,
They're big.
yeah.
Steve Kerr already said, he came out and said that Draymond's going to be on AD.
Yeah.
So it's really just kind of like filling out the rest, making sure everybody's in the right position to help when they need to, rotate when they can. I mean, what scares me is you have AD starting, you have Drummond, who's huge, and then you got Montrez off the bench, who's just a presence on the glass and everything. They just have a really long lineup, and that's obviously not our strong suit. Like, we have one of the shorter rotations in the league. So yeah, that's going to be tough. We're going to need Looney to play well and play smart along with JTA. But I'm fucking very excited to see JTA in a game where like there's high stakes and something on the line, like damn near a win or go home game, because he's a winner. And I'm very, very pumped to see him when the pressure's on.
We can like hope that Vogel and Kerr sort of go on this coaching battle and say, do this like game of chicken of who's going to adapt to the other coach's plan first.
Right.
And we can only hope that the Warriors' lack of size runs the big man off the floor from the Lakers. I think they'll try to play Marcus Gasol, but he'll get run off pretty quickly. I think throughout this down the stretch, I think Drummond's going to get run off the floor. Trez worries me because Trez is a dog against us because he plays with the second unit. He might not get the end of the game minutes, but that second unit where he's going to be going up against Juan T and shit, I don't even know who else. Like, I don't think what's his face? I don't think Pascal's going to be ready with this hip.
No, he's not.
So
it's literally going to be just Juan T and fucking
probably Mulder. A little Jordan Bell, maybe. Like, I don't know. Like, they might need to put him in for a little bit just to bang on him for a couple possessions. But
right,
Trez worries me. I think if we can keep him in check, I think they will make it competitive. And Steph's gonna have to put up another 50 burger and hope for the best with LeBron. Maybe that ankle isn't as bad.
Right. Yeah. No, Steph's gonna have to bring everything he has against us this year. Montrez has averaged 16 points a game. Kyle Kuzma 14. Like, they really, their bench adds a lot of depth and a lot of power and punch against us. And I think we played them 3 times this year. We won the first game, and they just blew us out by like 20 and 30 the second and third game. So we'll see, man. We'll see how it shakes out. It's one game. If we win, we advance and we play the Suns. If we lose, we play the winner of San Antonio and Memphis, and whoever wins that gets to play Utah.
Yeah, you gotta love. You mentioned it earlier. LeBron doing his hedging. His hedging of, if I lose, here's my excuses. And if we win, here's how hard it was and how much I care about basketball. It's just, I think Molly Cornyn called it out today of just like on First Take. She was just like, yeah, he's sort of saying it's been the toughest year and my ankle hurts. And if they lose, he's sort of building that narrative as to why he lost. And it's just like,
it's the excuse train.
Yeah, he's got the media engine going today. So you couldn't ask for a better matchup from a unbiased viewer, so I'm fucking pumped for tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get the chance to dunk on any Laker fans in our mentions. I'm sure there'll be many.
Too many. But yeah, with the anything else you want to talk about on the playoffs? I think we're
my only other hot take is I could see Denver going out in the first round.
Ooh.
No Jamal Murray. I'll never trust Austin Rivers. So
Dame Dollar.
I mean, it's going to be a tough one for Portland, but if CJ and Dame are clicking, who knows?
Yeah, I feel like they've played like Denver and Portland haven't changed their units too much over the years, and every time they face off in the playoffs, it's a dogfight to 7 games. Where this time they don't have Murray, so I agree. That wouldn't shock me at all. Actually, I haven't spent much time not researching, but like looking into this matchup. But give me one of those nights where Dame Dollar just being a dog. You get one of those sneaker games where CJ kind of takes over, puts up 35, and MVP Jokic gets bounced in the first round.
Shades of 2007 Dirk Nowitzki.
Who would have thought?
We'll see. We shall see.
But speaking of MVPs, we just finished the regular season, so we had some preview or some predictions when we first opened up the pod. It was like an eighth of the way into the season. We kind of gave our predictions. So
yeah, 17 episodes ago.
Yeah, crazy. But let's just start with sort of recapping as quickly as I can on what we predicted. So on the just as normal awards, I'll just kind of go off mine. I'll let you read yours, and then we'll go into the first team stuff. I had LeBron as the MVP, Wiseman as a Rookie of the Year, Terrence Ross, Sixth Man, Jeremy Grant, Most Improved, Coach of the Year, Monty Williams, Defensive Player of the Year, Andre Drummond, which might be my worst take I've ever made in life. And then my all viral player, which is the player who would be the most talked about in the media, whether good or bad. I picked Paul George.
Solid picks. Besides that Drummond one, of course.
Man, oh man, I was feeling ballsy in that one. And I think
like a
week later, he got benched and then cut. So all things coming up my picks.
Yeah, it wasn't looking great a couple weeks in, but yeah, for mine, I had same as you. I had LeBron as MVP. Didn't see the twisted ankle coming. Rookie of the Year, I had Wiseman as well. Sixth Man, I had Karis LeVert, which obviously didn't go well. Got traded, ended up having some sort of cancer. He's good now and he's balling, but he's like a star. Although he didn't play tonight, I'm assuming he's out for health and safety protocol.
Yeah, he's out for a couple weeks with COVID stuff.
Yeah. Most Improved, I had Christian Wood, which he went out for a nice chunk of time and missed a lot of games as well. And then Coach of the Year, I had Monty Williams, who we just learned today is the official Coach of the Year.
Hell yeah.
So got that
one
right.
out of 7.
Oh, and all viral, of course. The media doesn't give this one out, but it's a DMP exclusive. I had Ant-Man, who I'm more than comfortable sticking with that pick. Anthony Edwards. Just every time I open Twitter, it's a beautiful gift of a nice quote or a nice video from Anthony Edwards.
I fucking love it. He's been an A+ add to the league this year, both from actual skills and what he's been producing on the court to anytime he has a camera and a mic in front of him. So,
and he really found his groove, like playing wise towards the end of the season. He really came on and was producing for that Timberwolves team, especially when Cat got back.
Dude, made that protected pick that we got from them not look as good as we thought it was going to be. They went on a run to end the year. So we'll talk more about the draft there, but I think the Warriors are looking at like a 6 to 8 pick in the first round, which
good chances.
Yeah. So as far as where we're at now going into the predictions, let's run through those before we do like first team and second team and stuff like that.
Let's do it.
So MVP, I think we all know who's going to get it and who we want. But to see if I can get these right, I'm going to go with Jokic as my MVP. So hard to pick against Steph. I just think I don't even know why I got to say Jokic. It's just like I've been talked into it so much by everybody bitching about how much he's produced, and his numbers don't lie. I mean,
yeah,
they've gone on a crazy run since Murray went down. He's shooting at an absurd splits.
Although if you look at their schedule, the back half of their schedule was all cupcake games.
So was ours.
They still had to win. Yeah, they still had to win, but they were cupcakes for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think like he's held his own all year, played the most games. I think he's averaging like close to like upwards of 30 or close to 30 points a game. Close to 10 rebounds a game. He's just been that dude. I love big dudes getting the MVP. I don't think we've had one since Dirk was the last big MVP to get it.
Couldn't be. Was it? Hold on.
It may have been Dirk that was the last one, because it's been pretty much LeBron, Steph, Russ, Giannis,
KD.
Let's
see here.
D Rose.
So since Dirk, it was Kobe, LeBron, D Rose, LeBron, KD, Steph, Westbrook, Harden, Giannis. So yeah, holy shit, Dirk was the last big man to get it, and before him it was KG in 04.
Yeah. So another fun fact, he would be the first, or technically the second round pick to ever get the MVP. The first was Willis Reed, who was technically a second round pick in a draft that consisted of like 15 players. So,
Shit.
yeah, big. I love Jokic, so I don't hate that he's getting it.
Yeah.
And again, these are narrative picks. I'd say about 45% of the way, and the narrative is leaning all towards Jokic. So,
Agreed.
Joker's going to get it.
Yeah, he finished with 26 points, 10.8 rebounds, 8 assists, fucking 1.3 steals a game. So, yeah, numbers don't lie. I wouldn't be mad if he got it.
No,
we'll see.
Pretty close to 40, 50, 92. He shot really well on the field.
He was efficient.
Did you have Steph, or you going with Jokic?
Yeah, for the sake of argument, I'm taking Steph. I mean, scoring champ. I think he had just over 2,000 points this season. Did it in 63 games, which is the least amount of games to get 2,000 points. Harden did it in, I think, 68 last year. Just incredible. I saw a ridiculous one of those stats that Steph, MJ, Wilt, and Kareem are the only players to have multiple MVPs, multiple scoring titles, and multiple rings, which is an interesting class to be in. So he's in rarefied air. He literally took a dog shit team that finished last in the league last year and parlayed that into a 8 seed to get into the play-in. So without them, you take Steph out of the equation, they're absolutely one of the worst teams in the league. And when you're actually talking MVP, most valuable to their team, I don't know if there's any argument that can be made to sway my mind other than Steph Curry.
It's insane how, again, narratives. It's insane how his is not. This is like one of the greatest willing of a team to the playoffs we've ever seen.
Right.
It's without him, like, I forget what the stat was, but I found some like random ass nerdy analytics stat about like player impact. And he had probably it was like a point system of like, almost like a point differential, but it was like he was at like a 7, whereas like the next best player was at like a 3.5. And it's just like his impact of contributing to a win. Now, obviously he's putting up 40 points a game almost. But like, how do you not define that as the most valuable player? I don't understand how that works. It doesn't make sense to me.
The only thing that seems close to a similar situation would be the 2016-17 season when Westbrook got it. Because I want to say the Thunder were like a 6 seed that year.
Yeah.
And it was the year after, KD came and joined the Warriors, and he was pretty much all the Thunder had and led them to a low playoff seed, but he did it all by himself. I think he averaged, might have been the first year he got a triple-double.
First triple-double year. And again, great narrative, and no way should he not have gotten it. Like you average a triple-double for the first time and since the Big O. You deserve that MVP, and we can have arguments all day about Kobe in 06, LeBron when D Rose won it. There's always going to be that story, but I don't know. I just feel like how much it's such a weird thing for how popular Steph is, but also like how hated he is. And like players across the league are really saying, like, I don't think anybody's vouching for Jokic outside of Jokic and NBA writers for him to be the MVP. We can go all day, but it's mind-boggling. But
yeah, LeBron and Kuzma came out and said Steph's the MVP. I don't know why Kyle Kuzma's opinion matters or is even asked for, but
he's just copying what LeBron's saying. They're controlling the media. Speaking of narratives, another good one is Rookie of the Year. So I'm narrative Nancy. I'm going to go with LaMelo. I think he's got way too much in his corner. He played enough post his injury, got him into the playoffs. I think he's got all those little boxes that it's going to sway writers to pick him. So
agreed. LaMelo for sure. Like, I was a little nervous when he went down with the broken wrist, but came back, didn't really miss a beat. Averaged 15.7 points a game, 5.9 rebounds, 6.1 assists, shot 44% from the field, 35 from 3, 76 from rookie, won Rookie of the Month 3 times. So yeah, I don't know how he doesn't get it. So yeah, I would give that to LaMelo.
Yeah, Sucks for him, man, because he had a great year. He had a great rookie season.
Mhm.
And I think he's a star. So I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see LaMelo. I was pleasantly surprised with LaMelo this season. I think everybody
Me too.
was.
I
So
was nervous.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, and then most improved. So Jeremy Grant, Christian Wood. I think Christian Wood would have locked it up if he played the whole season. He's a
Had a
beast,
chance.
but who do you got at this point in the season?
So for this one, I'm going to make the argument that not many people would probably make, but I'm going to go with not somebody who wasn't great last year, but somebody who was really good last year and somebody who probably, I would say, turned into a superstar this year. I'm going to go with Julius Randle. I think that's probably like
Yeah.
one of the hardest leaps to make in a career. I mean, it's not easy to go from like mediocre to good, but it's really fucking hard to go from good to great or from good to star. And I think he did that this year, and he led the Knicks to what are they, a 5 seed, 4 seed?
Four
Yeah,
seed.
4 seed. So his numbers this year, as you mentioned, he led the league in minutes per game. But last year he averaged 19 and a half points a game. This year, 24. Shooting percentage is right around the same. Where he really improved was 3-point percentage. Last year, he only shot at 27%. This year, 41, which is a big jump. Free throw last year was 73. This year, 81. 10 rebounds a game, 6 assists. So he did it all for them. He was really like their engine that moved the team. And I love Jules. Like I mentioned before, wasn't a huge fan when he came into the league. I thought he just kind of was like a bully ball, put your head and go to the rim guy. But I love the passion he plays with. Love how he gets it done on that team. He's perfect for the Garden. So I'm going Julius Randle.
I'm just gonna literally the same exact thing as you just said. The stats, the jewels,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah. The biggest jump was at the jump and 3-point shot.
Yeah.
Jumped that many points. And I think the Knicks were the best 3-point shooting team across the league. They had like 6 players shooting over 40%, including RJ Barrett, which is bananas to me.
Bananas.
And you
Yeah.
got to give that credit mostly to Julius Randle. Like he's by far their leader. He's their go-to guy. To turn his like bully ball style into sort of this like Zach Randolph in a modern day, like,
But also a facilitator.
also facilitate. It's just, and he's a dog. He's sick to watch.
Yeah.
His son's awesome in the stands. So yeah, I
Biggest
echo
fucking crybaby in the world. His
Yeah.
son. Every time he loses, which hasn't been
hate
often lately.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His son is losing his shit. I love it. Great content.
Yeah, I echo everything that you just said about Jules. Sixth
Beautiful.
man. We had kind of stretch picks. T. Ross, stretch pick. Karras. If he was on the Nets, he would have got it. I think he would have secured it, assuming he wasn't hurt.
So too.
But who do you got this year? I think this one might be kind of chalk.
Yeah, this one's chalk. I'm going Jordan Clarkson. Plays on the best team in the league, technically, with their record. Comes off the bench and absolutely leads that second unit. Probably good enough to start if Donovan Mitchell wasn't on the team, obviously. But yeah, I think it's got to go to Jordan Clarkson. Where are we here? Pull up some of these numbers he had. 18 points a game.
Yeah.
Percentages weren't great, but he was really
baby. He fucking chucks.
He's a chucker.
But he has to. It's like it's his
job.
Yeah, it's what you want in a sixth man. It's Lou Williams-esque. He's in there to get buckets, and
Jamal.
when they need him to score, he's doing it. So yeah,
love it. Same with you, Jordan Clarkson.
Oh yeah, that was a lock.
Clear as day.
Defensive player of the year. I'm going to keep reminding people to hopefully make fun of me about my awful pick of Andre Drummond, but this year I got Ben Simmons. Who do you got?
I got Ben Simmons as well.
Hey, nice to meet you. I can't go Gobert. I had it written down and I crossed it out. I was like, no.
Refuse to pick Rudolph.
Refuse to give old boy his flowers that he does not deserve.
Agreed.
And jokes aside, like Simmons has a legitimate case. He is by far the best perimeter defender. Outside of like, I'm not going to say Draymond's a perimeter defender. He's by far the best perimeter defender, and that also plays inside defensively. Good on the boards, good at blocking shots, getting in the lanes, getting steals. He's such an anchor for the Sixers, and yeah, he's going to help bring them to the finals potentially, just through his defense. And so you got to, I think Simmons is such a good defender. So
Me too.
he's my
7th in
guy.
the league in steals with 1.6 a game. As you mentioned, the versatility that he brings on defense is just invaluable. So I would go with Ben Simmons as well.
Can't go Gobbert, man. He was getting talked about today about all these random ass like advanced analytic stats, and they're trying to say it's like the best defensive season ever.
Oh, brother.
And it's like, dude, get the.
I do not want to see
I don't
that.
know if I was getting trolled by some like satire like post, but
probably not, man. Most of the places I've seen online, they're pulling for old Rudolph to get Depoy.
Yeah.
I was bummed because if I mean, he's obviously not as great of a defender, but numbers wise, if Miles Turner would have played the whole year, he had a decent shot at it. 3.4 blocks a game, but he missed damn near 30 games.
Yeah, I had it written down to start the season, and it was mainly because he was just blocking shots, but
just throwing shit.
My question then was just like, is leading the league in blocks going to get you that nod? And I don't think he does the little things that people are looking for. Plus, he's not a popular player.
Yeah, it's a boring narrative.
So I just hope he gets out of Indy. Yeah. And then coach of the year, I think we're both pretty on the same page with this one. The one that we got right, Monty Williams.
Yep.
Yeah. The only one I thought otherwise would be, I guess, Doc.
Oh, really? I think there's a pretty obvious number 1A. That's Tibbs.
Yeah.
Tibbs took like a bottom of the barrel. I want to say the Knicks finished like 4th to last last year and parlayed that into a team that, like we mentioned before when we were describing all the players, like scratches claws, pulls out these crazy wins. They want to play for him. So I would say Tibbs had a pretty good argument to win that award. I'm glad that Monty won it. I like Monty a lot, but I think Tibbs is the easy 1B.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even cross my mind, but yeah, dude, Tibbs is
Tibbs, baby.
By far. I just got lost in the number one teams always getting the coach of the year, but
yeah, it'll happen.
And then viral. Are you sticking with your guy Ant-Man?
Have to. I want to say like every other episode of this podcast, we brought up something Ant-Man related, whether it was a dunk or something he said in the media or a video on Twitter. So I'm sticking with my boy Ant-Man. How about you?
So my viral guy is none other than Eric Collins. So I'm not going player. I'm going the announcer for the Hornets. He's just been my guy this year. Yeah. I don't think Paul George lived up to the prediction, and I don't want to say Ant-Man, so I got to throw in a little soundbite from my guy Eric Collins. Shout out to him and give him the all viral.
Love it. Clap it up. He makes that team go.
He really does. He needs to get onto national broadcast because he's just electric.
I will trade Bob Fitzgerald and a duffel bag full of cash and future considerations for him straight up. Would love that.
Bro, him and Kalena would be unreal.
Yeah, you have to turn the volume way down on those games.
Yeah.
Just screaming at each other.
Right. But let's jump into first and second team, kind of breeze through them, and then let's get the hell up out of here. Let's just start with first team for the sake of it. You just want to run through them, and we'll talk about anything if needed.
Yeah. So I think are we saying what we picked?
Shit. Yeah.
So beforehand, for the first team, I think we both had the same one: Steph, Luka, Giannis, LeBron, and AD.
Yep.
And I don't think LeBron or Giannis really played enough games, or excuse me, LeBron or AD, rather to cement themselves in the first team. So I think we got those wrong. Obviously, I think Steph and Giannis are chalk. Those are in there. I guess you could say Luka. I think everybody else is going to have him in there, but I would put Joel Embiid in there as well. And I don't know, who would you fill it out with? So
mine were, I had Steph, Dame, Luka, Giannis, and Embiid. I don't know. I'm sorry, Jokic. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Steph, Dame, Luka, Giannis, and Jokic. wish I could pick Embiid and Jokic at the same time, but I don't know if the voters will let me do that.
No.
Yeah, I agree. I think Steph, Luka, Giannis were kind of a locks. I can't imagine Luka's not going to get first team. I think Dame's well deserving of it. I think people might make a case for maybe CP3. But
He'll get votes.
yeah, I saw Chris Haynes leave Steph out of his first team, which I thought was blasphemy.
For Chris Paul?
Yeah, of course. Which made me think about it. So
yeah,
get tossed there.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, I think, yeah, LeBron and AD, do they make it to your list at all? That's the real question.
I don't think they can. I think they DQ'd themselves with how many games they missed, right? Because LeBron missed how many games did LeBron miss here?
He played
to
a total of 45
Was he in the 40s?
games. He played 45 games.
Yeah, I just don't think that's enough.
Yeah.
So I would say LeBron doesn't get it. Who knows if he will? He's one of those guys that maybe they'll throw him like a third team.
Yeah,
but
you can't.
I just feel like
they finished 8th.
Yeah, your team completely underachieved and you missed like a quarter of the season. So
yeah,
I don't think he gets it. I don't even know if AD played enough games because he missed out on a lot too, right?
Yeah, I totally agree.
So I wouldn't have either of those fellas in there.
But then it goes to the second team. So my second team, I had Dame, Dalla, Kawhi, Tatum, KD, and Embiid as my beginning of the year predictions. This year, you have the same one?
Mm-hmm.
My updated second team, it looks like Chris Paul, Brad Beal, Kawhi, Jules, and Embiid.
Yep, agreed.
Oh, look at that.
Yep. As usual, the boys are aligning. Yeah, I mean, Julius Randle, love that. We just talked all about him. Would love him to get in there. Joel had a fantastic year. Missed a little bit of time. I think he missed like 20 games or so. But when he was on the court, he just completely dominated and only had to play like 30 minutes a game. It wasn't even like he was logging crazy minutes, just because when he's on the court, they dominate and they get the job done. So yeah, agreed. Love that.
When he's on the floor, when he's playing, he is by far the most dominant player this season. And like without a question, it's just been absurd to see how much better he's gotten. It's a shame he went down and got hurt because I think he would have been a lock for the MVP.
Love that.
Yeah. So Team Joel over here. I think he locks in at second team. The only one that I was like somewhat, I guess if you can say iffy, but I was sort of like swapping out was like, how do I get Tatum in there? Or how do I get D-Book? So I was sort of like shuffling Jules and Beal and like seeing if I can move Kawhi up, but I was like, I can't not have Julius Randle on my second team. And
yeah, I think when you look at the whole picture and you see kind of where Boston finished as opposed to where New York and how different their teams are, I think you got to give the nod to Julius. Like Boston was supposed to be so much better. I know Jalen went down, but that wasn't until recently. And they were already underachieving. So I like having Julius in there for sure.
Yeah. But Tatum had some stat lines this season. I mean, put up 50 tonight. He put up 60. He had some scoring outings that were out of this world. And
I do love Tatum.
Kept those motherfuckers alive. So that's why they make third team. But
exactly.
So yeah, other than that, anything else on the to wrap up the NBA season? We're in playoff time.
I don't think so. Just excited for these. This is the best time of the year. You know, it's TNT season. We're going to be getting games on weekends, back to back. The first round is just nonstop hoops all the time. So I love it. Excited for it.
Yeah, it's kicks off Sunday, the formal playoffs, and we got some fun hoops tomorrow. Playing a little golf though. Let's talk a little golf. We got we haven't talked golf since the Masters and the post Masters.
That's right. We got the PGA Championship coming up. This starts Thursday. It's going to be in South Carolina this year at the Kiowa Island course, the ocean course. And this year it's the longest course they've ever had in the history of majors. It's playing at I think 7,800 yards or something ridiculous like that from the tips. And something new this year that they're trying is they're going to let the golfers and the caddies have rangefinders on the course, which
Oh,
They've
no
never done
shit.
before. Yeah, that's never been something that they've allowed. This is the first year they're trying it out. And it's definitely getting mixed reviews from all the golfers. They've been doing media nonstop the past couple of days during the practice rounds, and there's a few of them that have been like pretty firmly against it. And then there's been a few that are like, I just don't really know what that's going to do to change things. And I guess the thought process behind it from the PGA's perspective is that it might speed up the tournament, being able to just kind of like laser where you need to, rather than having your yardage book, having your caddy like walk it out to see where the back of the green is and all that kind of stuff. But the point, I guess, counterpoint that was made by a bunch of different people was, well, if we're shooting the rangefinder, the laser at these places and we're getting a couple different readings, we're going to walk it out anyway. So this is probably going to actually lengthen the process because we're going to want to double check it and make sure that we're getting the right yardages, because 1 or 2 or 3 yards off could mean a big deal if those greens are playing a little bit rough.
That's interesting. So, yeah, I don't know that much about rangefinders and pros and cons, but yeah, once you said they were allowing it, I was like, oh, there's got to be some controversy around it.
Yeah, the funny part is they announced it, I want to say in like February, that they were going to allow it for this tournament. And our boy Tony Finau was doing some press, I think today, and they asked him about it, and he looked and said, "Wait, they're allowing rangefinders this year?" He had no fucking clue.
Was he pumped about it?
He was just kind of like, "Oh, I guess I gotta talk to my caddy, and we'll figure it out." He wasn't really going one way or the other. JT wasn't too happy about it. Justin Thomas, he thinks it takes away from the skill of like having a good and knowledgeable caddy who does their job really well. Bryson DeChambeau thought it might help him out a little bit, depending if he's kind of spraying it in the rough, and might come in handy. But we'll see, man. It's like I said, it's the longest course that they're going to be playing, so being able to drive the ball far is going to help. But the wind is supposed to be ridiculous in South Carolina this weekend. So if you're not able to kind of have some good ball striking and put the ball where you want to, if you're spraying it around, it's going to be tough. So we'll see. I don't think it's going to be as easy of a time for Bryson.
Yeah, and all the predictions I was looking at, it was just like, don't be surprised if some of the long ball guys, especially Bryson, has like a shitty outing, just because the weather, the length of the course, and just the way he plays, it's just not going to fare well for the big man.
I'm hoping so. Yeah, we'll see. Do you got a pick? Just so you know, they played the PGA Championship at this course back in 2012, and that tournament was won by none other than the Irishman, Rory McIlroy.
Big roars. Yeah. I mean, my pick is very novice. I'm gonna go with Spieth. I think he's playing well. He was playing well at the Masters, leading up to the Masters. He's my guy. I thought about him. I thought about what's his face, John Rahm, but yeah, I think Spieth is gonna take it this weekend. What about you?
I hope so, man. I'm pulling for Spieth. I always am. Like his strength is his short game. So if he's chipping and putting really well, then there's no reason he can't take it. That's kind of where you need to make it count on a course like this. So hopefully Spieth, obviously pulling for my boy Finau to get rid of that Puerto Rican curse. He hasn't won a tournament since the Puerto Rican Open, which is bad luck. So hopefully he can snap that.
35-1 odds for Tony.
Is he? All right. Well, everybody knows he can really drive the ball. So we'll see. I think he'll hang around, obviously, and have like maybe I think he's good money to have like a top 20 finish.
Yeah.
But as far as winning, pulling for Spieth, probably put my money on Spieth this week.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if like Xander Schauffele was at the top as well.
Xander.
Yeah. As much as I don't want to root for a guy that goes by Xander, he's pretty fucking sick.
Do you think Rory might? You think he has what it takes?
He did just come off a tournament win. I want to say 1 or 2 weeks ago he won.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't know. I never really believe in Rory since when was his last big major win? 2014, 2013, something like that. So I don't know. Definitely not putting any money on Brooks Koepka. Coming off an injury, hasn't been playing well. He's more focused on fucking playing a tournament against El Prez.
Dude.
So not wasting my time with Brooks.
He's so busy just doing some charity event with the Portnoy man. But
Yeah,
it should be fun. I got some washing to do this weekend. It'll be
absolutely.
tight to see Hideki come back and do another victory, but
Would love that too.
yeah.
Also, this is the last tournament that Spieth needs to have a career Grand Slam, all four majors. So this would complete his Grand Slam. He's already won the U.S. Open, he's won the Masters, and he's won the British Open. So this would be the last one in his trophy case. So would love to see that happen.
Come on, Jordan.
Yep.
But yeah, anything else on golf?
I think that's all we got for the old golf.
All right, well let's get into some fun stuff.
Uh-oh.
How do you want to take this amazing sequence of events these last couple days?
Man, I guess we should start from the beginning. I'm assuming everybody knows what's been trending on Twitter and the internet the past. When did it start? Sunday, Monday,
So I think
Saturday?
the Kwame Brown saga. So I think it started. All the Smoke episode aired last week.
Correct. And I watched it when it came out. They had Gilbert Arenas on.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like a ricochet shot at Kwame Brown. He was telling a story about how he got to Washington, and was just kind of like telling them the cast of characters that were on the Wizards when he got there. And he mentioned Kwame Brown. And out of nowhere, Stack, Steven Jackson, kind of was like, oh yeah, Matt Barnes was just talking about him. He thinks he's the best number one overall pick in the history of the NBA. Just fucking around, obviously throwing shade at him. And Kwame did not take that lightly and snapped back on, I want to say Saturday night, right?
He came out Saturday night, and that was when he was rocking the DC shirt, right? Or was that when he was on the hookah? It may have been the hookah.
There's like 4 or 5 different videos in my brain now. There's one where he's wearing like a brim hat in his pickup truck. There's one where he's rocking like a
yesterday.
Okay. There's one where he looks like he's on the set of Ridiculousness with a DC t-shirt. There's one where he's puffing a wireless hookah. He was on one. And I texted it to you. I was like, hey, did you see this? Like Kwame Brown is like going off right now. And what was your response to me?
I don't think I've ever heard the man talk.
Yes, exactly. I've never heard Kwame Brown speak before.
He sounds like the scariest, most country, I'll fuck you up little boy, like
mean uncle
that you just don't want to meet or be on the bad side.
Yep.
And I will say he's got a point. I'm on Team Kwame with this one. He's just like, look, dude, leave me the fuck alone. I've been out of the league for how long? And I was drafted 20 years ago. Like,
right.
Don't make fun of me. Keep my name out of your mouth. I'm a grown man. Like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, Gil's always going to talk his shit.
He said that too. I think he said, I expect this from Gil. He's like a little ass boy. He's got a little boy mentality.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel bad for Kwame Brown, man. I didn't know he was this kind of dude. And to see him just like going on these like pretty violent rants, like over and over again, like threatening these dudes, just like.
Seems like he's with the shits.
Yeah.
He called out, I think he called out Stephen A. Smith today.
He called out Stephen A. Smith.
He referred to Matt Barnes as Becky with the good hair. Said, it goes against everything I'm about to get clowned on by a dude with finger waves. I'm assuming you're going to be putting some audio in this this episode, right?
I'm going to pull some audio from my favorite video, which is also found out he had a YouTube channel, and he's been going live on YouTube and just letting it fly for like 25 minutes.
Yep.
But I'll play a few clips. I'll have a few playing once we jump into it. Yeah, I know. What do you think about, like, are you on the Smoke Guys podcast or side of things, or
I'm a big fan of all the Smoke. Did you watch the piece of video that it stemmed from? Like, did you see the part of the episode?
So I saw it like briefly. Like, I didn't go like super into it, but I saw like the little like tap on his leg, and like they kind of laughed about it and then kept it moving.
Yeah.
So it's very small.
It was pretty. Yeah, I thought it was kind of harmless, to be honest. And that's kind of what those guys. They're jokesters. They're gonna talk shit. They're all the smoke. They want all the smoke. You know what I mean? I do enjoy their show. I love that tandem. I think they're hilarious. But I definitely see where Kwame's coming from, especially because it seems like he lives such a low key life. I think he was in the big three and played in that, but I mean, he's not really in the media. He's not super active on social media. So I see his point as well, but I think Dragonfly Jones might have had one of the funniest tweets about this. And he said, Kwame Brown been a running joke for 20 years, thrown into the fire and picked apart since he was 18, and never had any major run-ins with the law. No stints in and out of rehab. Mans is just drinking Coors Lights and inviting grown men to fair ones. That's a success story, if you ask me. And I think he just hit it on the head. He's just chilling out. He's a country dude. He drinks beer. He drives his pickup truck. Bought his mom a house. I mean, what more do you want? He stays out the way.
He never talked shit as everybody just like rode him. And hey, man, he played with Jordan and Kobe. He got his ass chewed out every single day of his career. Yep. And yeah, he stunk. But like,
well, I guess I'll say
there's been so many players that have been just as bad. And I know it was like the context and everything, but
yeah,
leave my man alone. The best. He's like, who set those motherfucking screens?
Yeah.
I was dying at that.
Yeah, talking about what did he say? Yeah, me and Kobe went for 82.
Yeah. I was setting them screens. And then you like see clips, he's like laying people out on the Raptors.
Yeah, he's the greatest. I mean, he's important to he was a Warrior at one time. And what a lot of people don't realize is that he was a part of a trade that really changed the organization as a whole. In 2012, he was traded with Monte and Ekpe Udoh to the Bucks for Andrew Bogut. And that was a huge trade, getting away from Monte Ellis and kind of giving the keys to Steph Curry, and obviously bringing in the big Aussie. That was a big help for our first championship run. So I'd like to thank him personally for facilitating that Golden State era. That was huge. And I'm going to say I'm on all the smoke guys side on this one, just because it brought us this gift of Kwame Brown that we didn't know about. So if they never had done that little chuckle and talked a little bit of shit with Gilbert Arenas, we never would have known what Kwame sounded like. We never would have known that he dresses like an old Mississippi pimp. We wouldn't have known a lot of this shit. So I want to thank Matt Barnes and Stack Jack personally for giving us this gift that's been keeping me entertained for the past 3-4 days.
Dude, I've gone to his Instagram. I don't follow him, and I keep going back to his Instagram to see if he's like posting on any stories or going live. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, thank you, all the smoke for getting him the screen time. But I don't know. I'm a Matt Barnes guy, a Stack Jack big fan of his, but like they just have such a wider reach, and they're just like they're throwing little jabs at him on like Rachel Nichols on the jump, and it's like,
right,
like be mad at yourself, man. We're talking hoops, and he's like, I don't give a fuck about hoops. Like we're talking shit about me. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I think Stack went live again today and was like you can't talk shit about my hoop career. Like I was nice. It's your fault you're not nice.
Yeah,
well, dude doesn't give a fuck that he underperformed and didn't live
he
up
knows
to
that.
expectations. Yeah, he's very well aware.
That. Yeah,
right.
It's like the same thing with Russ. With Russ getting all this shit for like not winning rings. He's like, I'm a success in my own mind. Like I got out the shit. And Kwame Brown's like, I bought my mom a house on a golf course at 18. Like all the success I need. Yeah, like absolutely doesn't matter. He did his thing in the league and it didn't work out. So I hope it ends, just for the sake of I don't want to see these guys like Kwame coming after them.
Come to blows.
Yeah. And then you got like they're like trying to take it there, like Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, but they're also like not trying to take it there at the same time. It's just they're playing it kind of weird.
Yeah, Steven Jackson is a newfound Muslim, if you didn't know. So he's all about peace now. Yeah. So I don't think he's gonna really be fucking with Kwame too much. I think he's gonna get his little shots in when he wants to retaliate, but it's not gonna be like blood Stack Jack. I think that's gone. I think that Stack is dead and gone.
Yeah, he's a he's a changed man. He's a newly found Muslim, but
yep, man of God.
But no,
I'm just looking at these videos on mute right now, and I cannot stop laughing at Kwame Brown in like dress clothes with that huge brim hat and sunglasses, talking shit in his pickup truck. It's unbelievable.
He is jamming down the highway in the back countries of Georgia, wherever he's at, and he's not looking on the road. He's not looking at the road.
There's no one
Dead
else on the
ass.
2-lane road.
Dead ass on the camera.
Yeah.
You punk
It's incredible.
motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, I love how they're both older than him, and he's referred to them both as boy throughout the
Yeah.
entire video.
He's using boy. He keeps referring to himself as his mama's son. You don't talk about a mama's son like that. Like that is
Love it. Very LeBron-esque.
yeah.
Father of 3.
It makes me want to put like new pictures on our thumbnails for our episodes of just like a picture of him in his pickup truck. But
I think that's going to be the Instagram picture this week. Thank you for saying that. But yeah, never really got in trouble. So like he's really lived a good life considering all things. A lot of guys that were in his shoes or similar to that underachieved really went a different way. So shout out to Kwame for being a good dude overall. Looks like he would be nasty on like the grill as well.
yeah, was that Dragonfly who said something like that? He's like,
I think that was Vince Staples.
Vince Staples, like he just looks like he throws the fuck down on the grill.
Yeah, he cold on the grill. I know it.
Shout out Kwame.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got. We appreciate everybody listening, supporting us.
Yeah.
Thank you
guys.
Hear any other content? Give us a shout, give us a holla.
Yep. And a big thank you again to Joey Curtin for blessing us on the last episode with our first interview. That was fun. And they're kicking ass right now. Reardon's killing it. I think 3 in a row. So big shout out to them.
Got to be the pod. You know,
yep.
you get on the pod, you do well. Simple as that. So
yeah, history in the making.
Come on.
Yeah, come on through. We breed winners and in success.
Yes, sir. But yeah, that does it for this week. We will check back in with y'all next Wednesday, sorry. And hopefully that's some good news with the Warriors.
Yep. Everybody take care.
And free Palestine. We'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Always.